Hello and welcome to this video in the ClearPass workshop series. In this series, we will build a ClearPass deployment from scratch and integrate with wired, wireless, Active Directory and much more. So in the previous videos, we set up the basic ClearPass deployment. We built a cluster and we built some services that did wireless authentication. And that's, all pretty nice. It works pretty well. If you didn't see that, please check back in the series. There's a link to all the videos in the series below this video. So what we'll be doing in this video is we will protect the login to the ClearPass Policy Manager itself. So what you can see is that we logged in till now to the admin account, and the admin account has full access to the network. But in larger companies, it would be nice if we can protect the admin login to ClearPass to users that are in Active Directory. And that's exactly what we will be doing. And you might have seen that there is already a policy even for that, which is the Policy Manager Admin Network Services Login. So let's have a look what's in there. It's checking in the local user repository, it's checking in the admin repository, and then here in the enforcement, depending on the role of the user, it will return access. But the big problem is that this service, it's not authenticating against Active Directory. So let's change that. So one thing that you may know or might need to know is that this service is between square brackets, and services that are between square brackets mean that they are by default. They're in by default. And you cannot change it, and if you can change it, you shouldn't change it, but because you need to create your own policy. So what we start doing here is we are copying this service. So now we have a copy here, and what we can do here in the service is we can change this, and let's rename this up to WS underscore Policy Manager Admin Network Login. So, and let's remove that one. So here in the authentication, we can remove these authentication sources, and we can add here the Active Directory. Then here under role mapping, what we will do is here we will select the same role mapping that we used for the wireless, because we have already all checking for groups and mapping it to ClearPass roles. And that's very convenient because we can easily reuse it, because we have the workshop admins already there with a ClearPass role, and the help desk with a nice role. So we will reuse the same role mapping, and what you will see during the workshop is that we are reusing this role mapping over and over. So you build this role mapping once, and then you can reuse it in all kinds of services, because in most services you want to know if someone is an admin or a help desk or a normal user or things like that. So for that reason, we are reusing this role mapping. If you missed that and are not fully familiar with roles in ClearPass and role mapping, please check back the video on wireless role-based access, because there I built this thing. So now we will create a new enforcement policy from here. So let's do it from here. WS CPPM admin enforcement. The default policy, by default, what I do is I deny access. So if I made a mistake in my policies, I'm sure that it will deny access instead of granting all access. So here we can create roles. So we go to tips role equals admin. So if you have an admin user, we will return the TACACS super admin role, which gives all access. And we create another role here if the tips role equals help desk. So we are help desk user, we will return the help desk access to this specific user. So let's save this. And then we can select here the admin enforcement profile, which will do what we just created. So let's save this and let's move this one to the top, because otherwise it will not match. So we click it here and we put it above the first and save it. And what we can do now here is we can disable this one. So what we just did use here is under the policies, you can see the super admin, for example. It is returning an attribute with admin privilege super administrator. And for you, it might be good to understand what's happening, because here under the administration and the admin privileges, this is where you can see what these roles are and what you can do with it. So, for example, for a receptionist, you can see here what's allowed for this specific user, and you can change it. You can create new roles, so you can make sure that specific users can do very specific things. So yeah, we can do the live monitoring, but probably we cannot do configuration with the help desk user. So let's see if that worked. So let's try to log out and log in now as admin1, which is an AD user, and the admin password. Whoa, that's good. So you can see here that it's user admin1 and we have super administrator logged in. And if we check here in the access tracker, we will see now that we have an admin login based on TACACS, which is another protocol like the Radius, but more used for administrative access on this service. And here under edit, let's put in the enforcement profiles again. So you can see that we got the super admin role for that. If we log out and now log in as helpdesk 1, what you now can see is that we are logged in as well, but yeah, in this case we have the helpdesk role. So you can also see here on the left that I can only check what's going on. I cannot make any changes, as yeah, help desks probably shouldn't make any changes. And for example, if I try to log in as user, let me try it again to make sure that the password was correct. So that doesn't work, admin1. So here in the access tracker, what we now can see is that we are rejected. So you can see here was no enforcement profile. So I think here we check in the alerts. Yeah, we did a authentication. So we had a password mismatch. So I mistyped my password. The second one, it just got a deny reject. So I didn't get access to this ClearPass. So another thing that might be good to know is that you didn't see the admin user logging in. So if I log in as admin and go back to the access tracker, you do see the other accounts, but you didn't see the admin accounts. And that's because the admin account is the single account that's here in the configure of an administration, admin users. This one isn't built-in administrator, so we can change the password. We cannot really disable it, and that is because that if we have issues with the backend, for example, so if AD is down or we made an error in this service, we still can log in as the admin user. So what you will need to do is put some, probably put a very difficult password on it. And if people mistype the password, so let me see. I think still you cannot see it here in the access tracker. Oh yeah, then you can see it in the access tracker. So if it's failed, you can see it in the access tracker. If it succeeds, it will go silently. By the way, you can, in the audit viewer, you can see the, in the event viewer. In the event viewer, you can see all admins that are logged in. So here we can see the admin firmware logged in, and it is possible to see it. It's just in the access tracker. You don't see the successful admin logins here. So what we did in this video is we changed ClearPass from a local admin account to an admin account that is taken from the Active Directory. And depending on who is logging in, we will get different access. So people of the admin group will get full access, super administrator, and people from the helpdesk group, they get just monitoring access, so they can just see the access tracker. And we saw that with the operator profiles, we can control what type of user can see what. So thanks for watching. For now, if you like this video, please like it below this video. If you have comments, requests, also put them below. And if you subscribe to the channel, you will see the next video coming up. You will be alerted and you will be the first to see it. So thank you again for watching.